So here's what's up with this guy. This guy obviously had some pretty serious issues going on. I mean, he runs around naked screaming like he sleeps in a cemetery, like he's weird. I mean, anytime they try to chain him up, he escapes. I mean, there's definitely like some mental illness things going on here, it seems. But does that mean that all mental illness is demonic, is demons? No. But by no means, that's true. But here's what is true. The Bible teaches throughout its pages that we live not just in a physical world, but a spiritual world. It's spiritual too. It teaches us that we're not just physical human beings made of flesh and bone, that we're spiritual beings as well. We have a mind, a heart, a spirit, a soul. So there's a spiritual reality to life and to existence. At the beginning of the story of the Bible, with the first man and the first woman, they live in happy harmony with each other and with God as a spiritual beings living in a physical world that God created. But then Satan comes along, and Satan was basically an angel gone rogue against God, and he comes along and he attempts to turn the man and the woman away from God. And how he does it is by engaging their minds. By engaging their minds. He introduces them to some lies and deceives them, tricking them into believing some things that were not true about themselves as human beings and not true about God. It really offers them the first opportunity to grasp at power. And the moment that they buy into these lies, a darkness enters into their mental state, really ending up making them less human. And Satan and his demons from that point on have been terrorizing the minds of men and women throughout the centuries. So what I want to say first is, obviously this guy is an extreme case, right? And I do believe that there is such thing really as demon possession. I don't think we see that a whole lot in our culture and in our land because, Satan's just much more successful in using other means and tools in corrupting our minds through like subtle, crafty manipulation of our intelligence where we think we're being smart or wise, but then we really end up buying into something that really isn't true. For example, many in our culture who believes that you can't believe that there's a God and you can't believe in the Bible and believe in science at the same time. They think that those are mutually exclusive, that the scientific theory disproves God. But science really is merely a study of how things work. And a study of how things work, it presupposes then in that study that there is order and that there is design, that there's something behind that makes things work, and that there's an answer to be sought, that there is intelligence behind it to be had, an intelligent force like God. So Satan doesn't really need to use demons and demon possession in our culture a whole lot. It, however, is highly frequent in tons of cases in like third world cultures, animistic cultures, where there's a high belief in spirits and openness to them is commonplace. They don't have these highly developed educational systems like we do. So a lot of it depends on where we live in the world when it comes to this. But what I'm getting at is it's easy to kind of write this guy off as just some sort of crazy freak. But really, all of us are in the same situation in some ways. We're all spiritual as well as physical. And we all have minds that are susceptible to dark forces and dark ideas and dark, untrue, deceptive thoughts. We're weak. We are so easily swayed by false ideas about God and who we are and about the world that He made. We're so easily swayed by false ideas. Now, here's what's interesting to me in this story. Two things. One, what the demons say. First, right away, they automatically recognize who Jesus is. Verse 28, they say, "What do you have to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God?" And then in verse 31, they beg Jesus not to throw them into the abyss at that time. We often have trouble recognizing who Jesus really is, don't we? They don't. Not a bit. They call Jesus by the very same title that the angel Gabriel called him when Jesus was born. Jesus, Son of the Most High God. So these demons, they know who Jesus is and they're afraid. They're afraid because they know that Jesus came to defeat them. Jesus already defeated their leader, Satan, and his temptations in the wilderness. Satan's their leader, so they know, man, he was no match for Jesus. We sure aren't. And they know Jesus promised to one day eternally throw them into a lake of fire forever and ever in this place called the abyss. You can read about it in Revelation chapter 20. Now that's the first interesting thing, that they know Jesus. The second interesting thing to me is what happens to the man after Jesus frees him from these demons. Look at what it says here in verse 35 and 39. Then the people went out to see what had happened, and they came to Jesus, and they found the man with the demons had gone, sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind. And then Jesus says in verse 39, return to your home and declare how much God has done for you. And he went away proclaiming the whole city how much Jesus had done. What a beautiful picture. This man, he received physical, religious, psychological, and even vocational restoration from Jesus. He was running around naked, screaming before. Now he's clothed, quiet, sitting at the feet of Jesus, listening. Man, he hated Jesus. Now he loves Jesus. He didn't have control of his mind and his thoughts, and now he's in his right mind, it says. He couldn't hold a job before down, and now Jesus gives him a special job, special assignment. It's a beautiful picture here. It's a picture of this man's humanity being restored. That Jesus really, what he does is he makes him human again. Makes him human again. This is what Jesus offers to us, is to make us fully human again. To make us human. Again, Jesus offers to restore our humanity, offers to restore our minds from all the ways and the things that have dehumanized us, telling us that we're damaged goods. Jesus offers his love, and he offers us to do something with our lives that actually counts for eternity, where then our lives really matter, have meaning. See, here's the thing. All of us get confused. All of us get confused at times. We even sometimes toy with different ideas and beliefs, whether we really believe the things that we say we do, or we start to believe things that we really know deep down are not true. Our minds get cloudy, sometimes even hardened and angry, like this man's was at the things that had happened to him. We have weak spirits. We don't have what it takes to find the truth on our own, to correct all of our thinking so that we think just perfectly all the time. We don't have what it takes to really put ourselves together and to keep ourselves together. We're weak. But Jesus does. He's strong. Jesus has a strong mind. He is the truth. He has power over the devil and over darkness. He's the Lord of truth, and he can restore us, restore our minds. Jesus really, he can make us human again in our right minds. Today, are you here and what you kind of need, you just need some answers? Jesus has them. Turn to them. He'll answer your questions. Ask honestly. Today, are there some things that you've been going through in your life and they just don't make sense? It's okay. There are answers in Jesus. You can turn to Jesus. He'll help you. He'll be with you. You can trust him. Today, are there things that you know you've been thinking and believing that you know aren't true or right or good for you? Jesus can restore you from those things. He can restore your mind, setting you on his truth.